All right, so in the previous episodes, we basically talked about what a Kafka cluster looks like, and then what a monitoring cluster would look like, and how the two would be joined together, how Kafka basically queues up a bunch of data that shows up in JMX beans, and if we add a Jolokia agent to that, we can expose those JMX beans at REST endpoints, and then we configure Telegraf to basically pick up that data on a regular interval from that REST endpoint and put it in an InfluxDB time series database. And when we brought up this monitoring cluster, we also brought up a Grafana dashboard on port 3000. And what we need to do now is configure the data source in Grafana to point at the InfluxDB. So we're going to go to the Grafana dashboard, and you can see these are the instructions in the README here. I'm going to pull up this Grafana dashboard. What we need to do is go to the data sources. We need to add a data source. We're going to point it at the InfluxDB. This is a Docker network. So the Docker network, the Docker node that actually the InfluxDB is implemented on is called InfluxDB. So that turns out to be pretty straightforward for that. The telegraf.conf file, so this is going to be the Telegraf database. And then when you save this, it'll try and make that connection. All right, so that worked. So now we have a connection to InfluxDB. If we were to come over into the Explore section, so I haven't built a dashboard. If we come over to the Explore section, in the InfluxDB now, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick like the last hour. So if we were to come over here, what I can pick is any metric I want. And it gets a little funky because of the way the beans and the time series work. So you can end up with a value here, you can end up with a value here, and you can end up with a value here. And so it's a little weird. And you'll get used to it, like different beans will be exposed differently. So in this case, I'm going to pick everything that's exposed as part of the telegraf.conf that I worked on or displayed in the other one. So these are the topics and the topic and the zookeeper pieces. I'm going to pick something really dumb. I'm just going to do the JVM garbage collection. Or maybe we could do heap memory usage. I have no idea. So we're going to do JVM heap memory usage. Now, if you had multiple nodes, they would all be in there. And then if I come in here, I can see heap memory usage used. There's the init, the max, and the use. I'm going to do used. And so this is the heap usage on that broker node. We actually could pick and filter by node. And in this case, there's only one node. But it gives you an idea that, hey, it looks like the amount of memory we're using is going up, right? So this is the Kafka broker heap usage. We could also come in here. This is one of those where you didn't. And we could look at the partition cluster. And we could see what partitions are under-replicated, and it's none. So there's a lot of information about Kafka picked up because of the wildcarding we did. So the net here is, what did we do? We basically went to the Grafana dashboard. We added the InfluxDB as a data source, and then we started poking around in the queries. And I will tell you that there is so much data here, it gets a little funky sometimes. So enjoy that. And then if I do another one, it'll be about how to build an actual dashboard here. And that's it.